Today's activity is going to be with the beanbag. The reason I have the scarf is if you're having any trouble or difficulty with that beanbag, you can switch to the scarf. So I want you to pause the video in a second, grab your beanbag and scarf. If you don't have your equipment, your beanbag or scarf, you can always use a ball of socks instead of a beanbag or a tissue instead of the scarf. So go ahead and pause the video, get the equipment you need, come back when you are ready. The first thing we're going to do is jumping jacks to warm up our bodies. You can just hold that beanbag in one hand. We're going to do 15 jumping jacks. Remember, a jumping jack has two shapes to it. A star shape you jump out to, and a pencil shape you jump back to. Pretend there's a string between your hand and your foot. When your hand and your foot goes out, your arms and your legs go out together. When you bring them back, they go back together. So we're going to do 15 jumping jacks together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Nice job. Alright, now that our body's pretty warm, you can shake it out if you want to. And now that your body's pretty warm, we're going to start using that beanbag. First thing we're going to do is a toss and catch. It's going to be a toss upwards, not high, but a little toss upwards, and you're going to catch it with both hands. Notice I'm tracking it, I'm watching it with my eyes the whole time, and you're going to catch it with both hands. Go ahead and start if you haven't. If you're having any difficulty, you can try using that scarf instead. There you go. So toss it up in the air, not very high. You don't need to be outside today for this activity. You can be if you want, but you do not need to be. Just make sure you're in a safe area, so if that beanbag does go a different direction, you're not knocking anything or hurting yourself trying to catch it. Alright, good job on that warm-up. Now we're going to try to make our feet move a little as we toss it in the air and catch it. So you're going to toss it a little sideways, just a little, and catch it like this. So it goes in the air a little sideways and catch it. In the air a little sideways and catch it. In the air a little, so I'm bending my knees and taking steps around. Even if it barely moves, move those feet, move those legs. So I'm barely, even if I barely move, I'm picking my feet up. I'm not just standing still right now. So go ahead and start if you haven't. It's a toss in the air, and then now make sure you're moving your feet. Start if you haven't. Again, still tracking it with your eyes, watching the beanbag whenever it's in the air. If you're having a lot of difficulty and can't quite catch that beanbag, you can switch to the scarf and see if you have a little more success with your scarf. Again, watch it with your eyes. Alright, good job. The next thing we're going to do, and at any point if you want water, remember to just pause the video, grab a sip of water, unpause the video, and we're right back at it. So feel free to get water at any time. The next thing we're going to do is try to add a clap. Alright, when we throw it in the air, we'll clap and catch. Throw, clap, catch. Throw, clap, catch. And that's your pattern. If you would like to, after you've caught it 3 times, If you'd like to add a second clap, you can. After you've done that 3 times, if you'd like to add a third clap, there we go, you can try. Again, most of us are doing this inside, so adding a third clap is very difficult because you can't get it very high and we don't want to hit the ceiling or roof with that beanbag. So you can try if you'd like. Same thing if you're using the scarf, and go ahead and start if you haven't. Throw, clap, catch, throw, clap, catch if you're using the scarf. Oh, this is our beanbag activity for today. Go ahead again and start if you haven't. Throw, clap, catch. Again, we're doing this together. So you'll hear me doing this while you're doing it too. Hope I'm not too much of a distraction for you. Oops, I forgot my clap. So again, if you want to move to 2 claps after you've done at least 3 with 1, eyes are still tracking that beanbag, knees are bent. You should be able to and can be able to move around when your knees are bent. If they're locked, it's difficult. So bend those knees. Alright, now that we're done with the tossing and catching, we're going to do a little bit of balancing. You're going to take that beanbag, balance it on either hand, because we're going to switch in a minute, but balance it on either hand, and we're going to try some squats with it balanced on your hand. Remember, a squat, you're bending your knees, not your back. You're not bending over like this. It's not this. But a squat goes down like this when you're bending your knees. So let's try 10 squats with it balanced on one hand. Then we're going to shake it out, try it again on the other hand. If at any time it falls off, don't worry, just grab it, try it again. If you need to pause the video to do this, that's fine too. But we're going to try 10 squats with it balanced on the hand. Here we go. And go at your own pace. That's why I'm not counting out loud. Helps for me to have both arms out. Alright. As soon as you are done, when you are done, shake those legs out. When you are done, shake your arms out too. We're going to switch to the other arm. If you're not done, you can pause it and then unpause it when you are. Or the other hand. Back of the hand, front of the hand, palm would be easy. Back of the hand, and we're going to do 10 more squats. Again, if you want to pause it at the end or just pause it as we go, if it's falling off a lot, that's perfectly fine. If you also need to switch to your scarf, actually that might be a little tougher. I would suggest staying with the beanbag. Alright, 10 squats. Here we go. Go at your own pace. If you want to keep an eye on that beanbag, it may help. Good time to look around the room, see if you need to clean anything up, put anything away. I've lost count. Sorry. So after you do about 10, if you lost count, Shake those legs out. There we go. Now we're going to try to balance it on your shoulder. Either shoulder, because again we're going to switch halfway, but either shoulder. I'm going to start it on my left. This is my left side. Either shoulder. There we go. And for this, we're just going to walk 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, and then side to side. So I put it on my beanbag here. I'll show you without the beanbag. 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, and then side to side, depending on how much room you have. So you just want to get in a motion of walking around with it balancing on your shoulder. So here we go. Start if you haven't. Balance it on that shoulder. Couple steps forward, couple steps back. Couple steps side to side. I don't have as much room going one way. So just do with whatever room you have. If and when it slides off, no problem. Just pick it up and fix it. There we go. Starting to get that balance down. Again, if you don't have your beanbag, perfectly fine to be using that rolled up ball of socks. Oops. Instead. It's a little lighter actually, so it's a little harder. Alright, switch shoulders. I'm going to go back to this. Oops, sorry. Switch shoulders now. You're going to go back to that regular beanbag. Goes on your shoulder, if you have your beanbag, on your shoulder, up a few steps, back a few steps, side to side. Up a few steps, back a few steps, and side to side. Again, if you haven't started, please start. Up a few, back a few, side to side. All right, that's your activity for today. Hope you had a good time. Thank you for joining me. Remember to stay active.